from the snowbound southeast, I'm Carl Azus with CNN Student News. Got some interesting info today on winter weather, and we're starting in a district that's pretty used to it, the District of Columbia. Congress has raised the roof on the U.S. debt limit. Currently, the national debt is $17.2 trillion. What lawmakers did is suspend the limit. They didn't raise it to a specific dollar figure. They just voted to allow the government to continue borrowing money, however much it believes it needs to borrow, until March of 2015. The Bipartisan Policy Center estimates the government will add about $1 trillion more to the debt between now and then. The House of Representatives passed this plan on Tuesday. The Senate passed it yesterday. President Obama is expected to sign it into law. The story here in the American Southeast can be summed up in this headline, and the ice that covers it. The Georgia Capitol, virtually shut down by winter weather 2 weeks ago, it's getting hit with another snow and ice storm. And we'd show you what that looks like from our roof here at CNN, but this is the current view from our tower cam, so you see why that wouldn't work. It's a relatively rare event for this part of the country. You can see the line of freezing precipitation curling up the eastern seaboard yesterday, expected to last through Thursday from the south to Maryland and Delaware. Atlanta was expecting 3 to 5 inches of accumulation. Charlotte, North Carolina, up to 10 inches. Parts of Virginia, 14 inches. Roads were closed. Schools and businesses were closed. Church and entertainment events canceled. Emergency workers were doing all they could to keep people safe, with winter advisories stretched over 22 states.
We're not kidding. We're not just crying wolf. It is serious business.
Weather-related incidents killed at least 5 people, including 3 in Texas and 2 in Mississippi.
We are facing an icing event that is very unusual for the metropolitan region and the state of Georgia.
Officials say once you get past a 1/4 inch of ice, power lines are in big trouble.
We're talking about places seeing even upwards of an inch.
And officials warn those power outages could be widespread. Look at that, it's like a ghost town in the entire city of Atlanta.
Sleet, ice, and snow canceling thousands of flights.
Get your batteries out, to get your flashlights out, to get your transistor radio out.
Wherever you are, you need to plan on staying there for a while.
One major danger here is ice. Part of the reason so many flights were canceled is because ice coats airplane wings, disrupting the way air flows over them, hindering their ability to fly. Pilots can't land on it, just like drivers without tire chains can't drive on it. Ice coats trees, weighing them down, and branches eventually break, taking out power lines as they fall. Almost 500,000 Americans were in the dark, many without heat yesterday. Utility companies said they expected more to lose power as precipitation continued. Some folks ask why we don't bury power lines to get them out of the way. For one thing, it can cost about 6 times more than suspending them above the ground. It takes a long time to do, and when underground power lines fail, it takes longer to fix them. Another winter danger in areas that get a lot of snow: avalanches. The snowmobiler who captured this on his helmet cam says he was pushed about 100 feet. He made it out okay. When officials know that conditions are ripe for an avalanche, one way they can deal with it is by setting off explosives, causing an intended controlled avalanche. But they can't keep tabs on every mountainside people will visit. And 6 people have recently been killed in avalanches in Colorado, Oregon, and Utah. In the backcountry, remote areas where skiers, snowboarders, and snowmobilers enjoy untouched powder, the snow isn't groomed. It may not be monitored. The danger is higher, so the need for emergency equipment is higher.
A backcountry ski outing in Switzerland that is about to turn into a horrifying experience. Christopher Carlson, who was wearing a helmet cam, came very close to documenting his own death. It's an avalanche. He is buried about 5 feet under the snow, unable to move. Carlson is hoping the skiers he was with find him before he suffocates. And they do. He's a very lucky man. On the average in the U.S., 28 people die each year from avalanches, often with hundreds of tons of snow plummeting down the mountain. I ski at Colorado's Copper Mountain with one of the top avalanche experts in the United States.
How are the conditions?
Good for skiing.
Ethan Green is the director of the Colorado Avalanche Information Center. His state agency's responsibility in part to forecast the probability of avalanches.
This is Mayflower Gulch.
And he takes me away from the resort and into the backcountry where most avalanches occur to learn about the 3 essentials for backcountry skiers.
Beacon probe shovel.
Beacon probe shovel.
That's right.
Those are the 3 things you have to have with you.
That's right.
The beacon.
We all put on one of these and turn them on so they're transmitting. They're sending out a signal. And then later in the day, if you get buried in an avalanche, I'll be able to set mine to receive, pick up your signal, and locate you.
The probe and the shovel.
Yeah. This is a 3-meter probe pole. So what this allows me to do is once I get your general location with the beacon, I can pinpoint you with this probe and then use the shovel to dig down to the tip.
There is also this 4th item that can keep you above the rampaging snow threatening to bury you. The airbag pack.
Time for the shout out. Which of these words is a synonym for morality? If you think you know it, shout it out. Is it vitriol, rectitude, mortality, or acrimonious? You've got 3 seconds. Go. Call it rectitude, morality, or virtue, but it all has to do with choosing right over wrong. That's your answer, and that's your shout out. If you've spent any time around babies, so we're talking children 3 to 6 months in age, you know they can express themselves, smiling when happy, crying when, well, whenever. But do they know right from wrong, good from bad? Do babies have a sense of morality? A scientist at Yale University says psychologists have long felt that babies knew nothing in that area. One study is changing that, but there's a caveat.
These babies at Yale University's Infant Cognition Center are here to watch a puppet show. A show designed to illustrate examples of good and bad behavior. Watch as this puppet struggles to open a box. A green bunny comes along and helps to open the box. Green bunny is nice and helpful. Then an orange bunny comes along and slams the box shut. The orange bunny is mean and unhelpful. But what does this mean to 6-month-old and 3-month-old babies? After repeated shows, they're presented with 2 puppets, the nice green bunny and the mean orange bunny. Which one will they choose? Over 80% of babies like the nice puppet. So we see babies recognizing good and bad characters, but do they then try to avoid the bad guy? The good bunny has 1 graham cracker. The bad bunny has 2. Which one will the babies choose? Over 80% of babies will take 1 cracker from the nice guy, avoiding the mean guy, even though he has 1 more cracker. But what if the mean guy has 8 crackers and the nice guy just 1 cracker? Now, which one will the baby choose? 65% of babies will take the crackers from the mean guy. According to the study, more crackers means more willingness to overlook dealing with a bad guy.
No bunnies, but plenty of birds in today's CNN Student News. Roll call! Watching us with eagle eyes from Lancaster, California, the Lancaster High School Eagles are on today's roll. Flying north for the winter, we've got the Cardinals of Fairmont Junior Senior High School. Hello to everyone in Fairmont, Minnesota. And we'll fly down the Mississippi River to get a bird's eye view of the Blue Jays. Glad you're watching in Liberty, Missouri. Well now, here's something you don't see every day. A skydiver was taking a camera along for the ride, but the camera apparently jumped before the skydiver, falling out of the plane. The skydiver never found it, but somebody did. The person who owns this pig pen says the camera was found with this footage on it 8 months after it fell from the sky. The proof posted on YouTube. For the skydiver, it was 1 trough break. It's a poor sign of camera handling. For the animal, no big deal. For the rest of us, pretty incredible. But that probably won't happen again until pigs fly. You knew we'd be baking up some puns. It's important to me because I've always been kind of a ham. It eats up all our time for today, but CNN Student News will be back on camera tomorrow. I'm Carl Azus.